was like, I don't know what I'm waiting for. Hi, I'm Paige Daniel. I'm a student at Texas A&M University. My mom is gonna get so mad when she sees this because she's gonna be like, Paige, that's not right. Like, you don't know your life story. But I think I was like 3. I basically lived in Sulphur Springs my whole life. I have a sister. Her name is Peyton. She's married. She's 21, so we're like 2 years apart. So I was involved in student council and I was a class officer. I was parliamentarian. I was also in National Honor Society. I was a volleyball manager for a year. I was also on student council like officer team. I was reporter historian, so I like posted all the social media stuff and like made the graphics for that. And then I was treasurer my senior year. That's the other thing. I liked it. I liked that I grew up with the same people. Junior year was very different because it was like a normal school year at the start, but then that was my COVID year. And so I spent like half of my last semester doing everything online. Like I took my first AP test online. Like it was a completely different year. It was a tough year. Then we got to senior year and they started letting us have like more stuff and started trying to let us have more stuff. We still didn't get things like hearts, which was kind of sad, but it's okay. We got prom, so that's okay. Yeah, the last semester of senior year was crazy. I felt like I was doing something every single day. Like my parents were like, am I gonna see you today? And I was like, I have like 12 graduation parties and like all these events. I will see you tonight for dinner, but probably just like seeing how all of my friends, like we were all like about to like start our lives and like how we were all like so set on going in our own paths and like everyone just had to figure out where they wanted to go and what was gonna be best for them. And like I thought that was cool to see like all the people I've grown up with my entire life like take steps that like they were passionate about and like in the direction they wanted to go in. It was always the plan that I was gonna go to college. Where was another story. I spent the entirety of my senior year stressed about where I was gonna go, but and in all honesty, like not even just to say it because like this is a Bright Star interview, but like this scholarship was why I'm at A&M because it was like in my mind, like Caroline suggested to me that I should come here with her, and then the more like information I learned and like more I learned about the traditions and stuff, I just fell in love with it and I was like, this is where I want to be, but it was a lot more money than like other places that I could go. And then the Bright Star Scholarship really helped, and that's why I'm here. I was introduced to all the other little things like fish camp and like impact camp, and I was just completely dunked into the maroon water, basically. Just with like the opportunities I've gotten at A&M, one of like the biggest things for me has been like how massive like the Christian bubble is here, and I feel like it's very different at other schools, and so I feel like that's I mean aside from the Gillises, the reason I think I'm truly here is because this is exactly where God wanted me to be. And so I think if I was anywhere else it would have just been wrong, and I would have been trying to figure out so many different things in my life and like being so lost. But because of the Gillises and because like this is where God wanted me to be, now I get to sit here and like rest knowing that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and like everything worked out. It was crazy. We were on the second deck because we sat with one of my friends, Elizabeth, who's from Sulphur Springs. Her older brother is a senior, and so he had people that waited in line overnight, and so we got good seats. We were on the second deck. It was perfect. We were like the only freshmen there. I was with Caroline. It was crazy. And like every time they scored, we were all like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? I have so many videos of like me and Caroline just being like, what is going on? And then finally, like right at the end, I still remember the moment. Seth Small kicking that, it was just one of the greatest days of my life. I'll remember it forever. It was crazy. I'm studying business management, and I'm on like an entrepreneurship track because I would like to own my own business. Not sure what business yet, but that's the hope. My sister actually applied for it. I think it was the first year that it was a thing. Peyton applied for it, I think. And that's when I heard about it. And then from then on, Mom was like, you need to apply for this, because it was so new at the time and it was such a big scholarship. It was a lot because my mom was telling me every day, she's like, Paige, you have to do this. Like, if you're gonna do any scholarship, fill out this one. And I was like, okay. I honestly think I might have written my essay like 3 days before it was due. But I guess it worked out, but it was so stressful. I like kept putting it off because I was like, I need it to be perfect, but I was stressed that it wasn't gonna be perfect, and so it was just stressing me out the entire time. But then I did it, and I filled out everything, and I wrote the essay. My interview was very stressful. I was so scared, terrified, but I guess it worked out. But I was really nervous, but they made it so much better. I was sweating and I was hot, and they had to take my temperature when I walked in, and it was like too high, and I was like, I'm just hot, like I'm sorry, and they're like, no, you're fine. But it was just like slightly higher, and they were like, we'll do it again, and then it was fine. But I was like so stressed, I was sweating, and I was like, I promise I'm just hot. I had just finished a quiz, and like I just hit submit because they called me down to the office, and I was like, what are they calling me for? Like I had was going back and looking at a question, but I was like, you know what, we'll just hit submit because I don't know when I'm gonna come back, and I don't want like class to be over. And so I hit submit and then left, and had literally no idea until I saw my mom in the office, and I was like, what are you doing here? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm not in trouble. What did I do? And it wasn't until I rounded the corner and saw you, and then I knew, and it all made sense. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'd say probably since I do want to have my own business, like one of the main things that I know for sure I want to do with that is just do something that's going to help people, because I feel like we have enough businesses and corporations in the world that are just trying to scam you. And I don't want to be one of those. I want to be one of those that like helps people, whether that's like in some way that's like helping people run their own business, or I don't know what we're doing with a business yet, but however I do that, I know whenever I talked to Grayson when I was applying, he asked me kind of the same question about what I was going to do, and I was like, well, I know I want to help people, and that's about it. So if I can help people, even if it's like opening a business in Sulphur Springs, it's going to help people, or even just like in small ways, like helping kids now who are applying for the Bright Star Scholarship. Even the few times like when I've worked with Maddie Millsap at Misbehavin', Debbie's walked in a few times, and she's just so nice, and is like, not that she wouldn't be nice, but she's just so nice every time she comes in, and is just like truly wants to know like how we're doing and like how she can help in any way. And I'm like, you've already helped me so much, like you don't have to keep doing it, but she does. She just keeps giving. Yeah, she's so nice.